Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be picking my TBR for the very last month of this year. That's insane. Like, that's insane to think about, that this year is going to be over in a month. Like, that's crazy. But this month I have there's a lot of great things planned, not really video wise but life wise. Christmas of course, but I do have a cruise coming up on December 16th, so I need to pick books that I feel are vacation books because I'm not going to be in the cold, so I need to pick books that kind of work around that. And because of that, I'm going to be going back to my roots and picking my books using a TBR jar. I haven't done this in a while. I feel like I haven't picked my TBR solely based on my TBR jar prompts. Like, I feel like I've switched it up a little bit lately. This time we're going back to our roots and we're doing what we do best, and that is the TBR jar. So I'm going to pick 6 books, maybe 7, maybe 8. Honestly, we know how this goes. I always end up picking more than I say I'm going to pick. It's just too fun to not do that. So I'm going to start off with 6. Will I pick more? Probably, but we're gonna start off with 6. And I do want some summer reads because I am going to be on a cruise, but I also want to make sure I get the books that are on my 24 book stream in 2024. I have 3 books left on there: 11/22/63, which I'm currently listening to. It should be done by December. No promises. All Roads Lead Here is also on there, and then Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. Those 3 books are the last 3 books that I have on that list, so I definitely want to get those done. But yeah, and then also Hopeless I added in, and as well as The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. Those 2 books I added in, so I hope to get those books read as well. The Hero of Ages will definitely be read in December. So yeah, first prompt. The first prompt, we have a book with your favorite color on the cover. Can y'all see that? Y'all probably, I don't think y'all can see that. There you go. So if you don't know, I have 2 favorite colors. Technically, you guys haven't seen my room, but if you were to have seen my room, it would be quite obvious. My favorite colors are aqua, like a turquoise, and a light gray. Those are my favorite colors. I do love a sage green as well, so I will try to find books that kind of work with that. The book I decided to go with for this prompt is The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. Y'all know how I feel about Red, White, and Royal Blue. That book is a 5-star. I love that book. And One Last Stop by the same author was a 4.25. So obviously I really enjoy this author. I have not read I Kissed Shara Wheeler by this author. I really do want to read that, but this is the next on my list. It has aqua on it. I love this color literally with all of my heart. But yeah, this is the first book. I will read the synopsis for you. Theo and Kit have been a lot of things: childhood best friends, crushes, lovers, and now estranged exes. After a brutal breakup on a flight to their dream European food and wine tour, they exited each other's lives. Time apart has done them good. Theo is a bartender and an aspiring sommelier with a long roster of lovers. Kit graduated as the reigning sex god of his pastry school and now bakes at one of the finest restaurants in Paris. All that remains is the unused voucher for the European tour that had never happened. 4 years later, it seems like a great idea to finally take the trip solo, separately. It's not until Theo and Kit board the tour bus that they discover they both accidentally had the same exact idea, and now they're trapped with each other for 3 weeks of the most romantic sights and sensuous flavors of France, Spain, and Italy. But it'll be fine as long as they agree they're absolutely over each other. So when Theo suggests a friendly wager to see who can sleep with their hot Italian tour guide first, Kit is game. In fact, why stop there? Why not a full-on European hookup competition? But sometimes a taste of everything only makes you crave what you can't have. You literally don't need to tell me anything else. I'm sad. I'm sad. So this is the first book of my TBR. Next prompt. What? We'll go with this one. A book published this year. You'll see that. There you go. A book published this year. I have a lot of books. A lot of books that were published this year. I mean, I feel like as a reader, I buy a lot of new releases. So, of course, I have a lot of books that were published this year. Which one do I want to pick is the question. Okay guys, I think I've chosen a book. This is also an author that I love. I adore them. And I'm very excited to read this book. And that is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. Once again, a summery vacation romance. I literally cannot ask for more than that. So, let me read you the synopsis again. It says, Anna Green thought she was marrying Liam Weston for access to subsidized family housing while at UCLA. She also thought she signed divorce papers when the graduation caps were tossed and they both went on their merry ways. 3 years later, Anna is a starving artist living paycheck to paycheck while Liam is a Stanford professor. He may be one of the 4 heirs to the Weston Foods conglomerate, but he has little interest in working for the heartless corporation his family built from the ground up. He's interested, however, in his $100 million inheritance. There's just one catch. Due to an antiquated clause in his grandfather's will, Liam can't claim the money until he's been happily married for 5 years. Just when Liam thinks he's in the home stretch, pressure mounts from his family to see this mysterious spouse, and he has no choice but to turn to the one person he's afraid to introduce to his one percenter parents, his unpolished, not-so ex-wife. But in the presence of his family, Liam's fears quickly shift from whether the feisty, foul-mouthed, paint-splattered Anna can play the part to whether the toxic world of wealth will corrupt someone as pure of heart as his surprisingly grounded and supportive wife. Liam will have to ask himself if the price tag on his family's flimsy cover story is worth losing the true love that sprouted from a lie. Guys, like, how can I read that synopsis and be like, no. It's, yes. So, second book on this TBR. Next prompt. This one? I think so. A pretty cover, I think it says. Oh, I'm being an influencer, guys. A book with a pretty cover. Honestly, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I buy a lot of books because the covers are pretty. I will not lie. I am shallow a little bit when it comes to books. I indeed am. What to choose, guys? I have so many options. You know what? I'm gonna do it. You guys ever have you feel like, girl, what? I'm gonna do it. I surely am. Is it a pretty cover? I mean, not really. I think it's not really pretty. I think it's pretty, like the atmosphere of the cover is pretty. I love a landscape. I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. You guys are probably like, you're such a liar. Am I? No. Did I choose this because I needed to read this year? Yes. But do I think the cover is pretty? Also, yes. Like, you can't sit here and tell me that this is not a beautiful cover. Like, I love a landscape. I really do. I really do. So honestly, I do think this is a pretty cover. Are there prettier covers? Yes. But should I also make this work to my advantage? Yes. This is the book. Losing People You Love is Hard. Aurora de la Torre. That is a mouthful. Aurora de la Torre knows moving back to a place that was once home isn't going to be easy. Starting your whole life over probably isn't supposed to be. But a small town in the mountains might be the perfect remedy for a broken heart. Checking out her landlord across the driveway just might cure it too. I support. I know that this is single dad, and that's all I know. It's single dad and it's money on the spot. Do I need anything else to convince me? Absolutely not. Third book of our TBR. Next prompt. This is a small. Ooh, this is a small one. I'm a little scared. A book by a BIPOC author, so a Black, Indigenous person of color. We could do this. We could do this. I say this like this is going to be difficult. It's not, because I actually recently bought a lot of books by Asian authors recently. And I also do have some Black authors. I do love me a Black author because I am a Black woman. I am. What book do I want to read? Can I make this work to my advantage? No. I can't. I'm gonna be strategic about this, and I'm going to choose a book that is not a part of a series and that is short. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, the book I ended up choosing was Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame. Oh, I'm gonna butcher it. I'm gonna butcher it. Nana Kwame adeji-brenyah. If I butchered that, I'm so sorry. This author is Ghanaian, and guys, guess what? He was born in New York. Guess who was born in New York? Me. I have heard about this book for a very long time. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I've heard a lot of people rave about it, and I got it for myself a while ago actually, and now I'm getting the chance to read it, and I am so very excited that this prompt gave me the chance to read this book. I say that like I don't choose the books I read every single time I read a book. I will not take the blame. I will never. Synopsis. Loretta Thurwar and Hamura Hurricane Stacker are the stars of the Chain Gang All-Stars, the cornerstone of Cape or criminal action penal entertainment. A highly popular, highly controversial, profit-raising program in America's increasingly dominant private prison industry. It's the return of the gladiators, and prisoners are competing for the ultimate prize, their freedom. In Cape, prisoners travel as links in chain gangs, competing in death matches before packed arenas with righteous protesters at the gates. Thurwar and Staggs, both teammates and lovers, are the fan favorites. And if all goes well, Thurwar will be free in just a few matches, a fact she carries as heavily as her lethal hammer. As she prepares to leave her fellow links, Thurwar considers how she might help preserve their humanity in defiance of these so-called games. The Cape's corporate owners will not stop to protect their status quo, and the obstacles they lay in Thurwar's path have devastating consequences. Moving from the links in the field to the protesters to the Cape employees and beyond, Chain Gang All-Stars is a kaleidoscope, excoriating look at the American prison system's unholy alliance of systemic racism, unchecked capitalism, and mass incarceration, and a clear-eyed reckoning with what freedom in this country really means from a new and necessary American voice. I love a deep book. I love a book that is going to teach me something. I really do. And I feel this book is going to be both. I feel it's going to be a very deep book because we do have some type of romance. But we also have this conflict between our main character, who is going to be leaving, but also these relationships that she has within this, within Cape. We have talks about racial, like systemic racism, which I think is a very important topic that people need to talk about, and I think is very important to be in books. So I think that this is going to be a very educational book as well as a very deep book, and something that I will really enjoy. We are now on to our fifth prompt. We have so far not a lot of not a lot of variation. We have 3 romances and 1 literary fiction, so I am wanting to get some more genres in here. Maybe a fantasy and a thriller, maybe, I don't know. But that's what I'm hoping for. This one it is. Oh, you're joking. You're joking. Yeah, guys, that surely does. That surely does say random number generator. Here's the thing. The way I have to do a random number generator is a bit different because I don't have just like one big bookshelf. So what I have to do by bookshelf, then by shelf. Actually, no, I'll do by bookshelf and then just by number. That's what we're gonna do. So I have a stack of book of the month books because that's just how I am. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shelves in my room. So let's ask Siri to choose. Hey Siri, pick a number 1 through 8. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is my fantasy shelf, guys. It is my fantasy shelf. I'm excited. I'm excited. How many books do I have over there? So I have 13 books on that shelf, just including first of series. I'm not counting every single book on that shelf because some of them are a part of series. So I'm now going to ask her to pick a number out of 13. Pick a number 1 through 13. Okay, I'll see that. We got 7. So I will go. I think I know what book this is, and I think this works out for me quite well actually, because I think it is The Hero of Ages. It's either The Hero of Ages or it's Tress of the Emerald Sea, and I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that it is The Hero of Ages. Let me go check. Y'all, I'm very excited because the book that I did get was The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I'm not going to read you the back of this because it is the last book of the first era of the Mistborn trilogy, so I'm not. No. If you guys want to know, you guys need to read on your own. I will not be giving any spoilers. That is not what's happening here. But I'm very excited to read this. The reason why I wanted to get this so bad is because I did tell my manager that I would read this in December. So that's why I really wanted to get this, so he would get off my back. So we're reading this. This is the 6th book. I'm glad that I'm reading this because I actually really do love the series. So I'm very excited to read this. Yeah. We are now on our 6th prompt. I've decided that I'm going to do one more after this. Because when do I ever stick to what I'm supposed to do? Never. Let's dig all the way. Let's dig deep, guys. Let's dig deep. This one. What does it say? An author you've read and enjoyed before. Guys, I have a lot of authors that I've read and enjoyed before. We all know this. But we all know which one I'm about to pick because it works, guys. It works with the prompt, and who am I to disagree? It's right above me, guys. I don't have the dust jacket because the book came without the dust jacket. Blame Walmart, not me. And that is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. Because I don't have the dust jacket, I have no idea what this book is about. I will not lie, but it's Frederick Bachman, so like, duh, I'm gonna read it. I will find the synopsis for you guys and read that for you. Give me a moment. Okay, it says, looking at real estate isn't usually a life or death situation, but an apartment open house becomes just that when a failed bank robber bursts in and takes a group of strangers hostage. The captives include a recently retired couple who relentlessly hunt down fixer-uppers to avoid the painful truth that they can't fix up their own marriage. T. There's a wealthy banker who has been too busy making money to care about anyone else, and a young couple who are about to have their first child but can't seem to agree on anything. From where they want to live to how they met in the first place. Add to the mix an 87-year-old woman who has lived long enough not to be afraid of someone waving a gun in her face. A flustered but still ready to make a deal real estate agent, and a mystery man who has locked himself in the apartment's only bathroom. And you've got the worst group of hostages in the world. Each of them carries a lifetime of grievances, hurts, secrets, and passions that are ready to boil over. None of them is entirely who they appear to be, and all of them, the bank robber included, desperately crave some sort of rescue. The bank robber? Interesting. As the authorities and the media surround the premises, these reluctant allies will reveal surprising truths about themselves and set in motion a chain of events so unexpected that even they can hardly explain what happens next. Humorous, compassionate, and wise, Anxious People is an ingeniously constructed story about the enduring power of friendship, forgiveness, and hope, the things that save us even in the most anxious of times. I feel like this is really going to speak to me as an anxious person. I am diagnosed with generalized anxiety and social anxiety, so I feel like this is really going to speak to me if these people are actually like very anxious. I feel like this is a book that is meant for me. A lot of Frederick Backman books speak to me. So, I'm very excited. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. So that is the 6th book of my TBR, and like I said, I'm gonna choose one more. Maybe another. But for right now, for sure one more. Out of my trusty little TBR jar that I love dearly. Let's make it a good one, y'all. Let's make it a good one. Let's do some, not predictions, but things that I want to read. I love to put a thriller on here, but I also just recently read Infinity Sun. So Infinity Reaper would be great. Hopeless, something that can fit Hopeless in would be great. Those 3 are kind of what I'm hoping for. Infinity Reaper, a thriller, or Hopeless, because I need to finish that series. This will determine our fate of the last book on our TBR, guys. Uses characters' names in the title. Therefore, honestly, none of the books that I wanted fit this prompt. What does fit this prompt? Let's take a gander at my bookshelves and let's see. Carrie. Y'all. Guys, I fear I have to do it. I fear I have to do it. Did any of guys, Carrie by Stephen King, did any of you guys see this coming? Did anyone see it coming? Because I sure didn't. It's a horror book, guys. It's a horror. It's a little bit different than what I was thinking I was gonna pick, but never will I be upset to be reading a Stephen King book. Besides 1922, we don't talk about that, but we do talk about reading Carrie. I have so many Stephen King books, so many that I want to read, so many that I've already read, and this one for some reason is one that I really want to read. This one and The Pet Sematary are like really high on my list. This one, The Pet Sematary, and Cujo. I don't know what it is about those 3, but they really like I ache to read them. So best believe I'm reading this. So synopsis: Carrie may be picked on by her classmates, but she has a gift. She can move things with her mind. Doors lock, candles fall. This is her power and her problem. Then, an act of kindness as spontaneous as the vicious taunts of her classmates offers Carrie a chance to be normal, until an unexpected cruelty turns her gift into a weapon of horror and destruction that no one will forget. So, essentially, she's like 11. No, she's not. I just really love Stranger Things. I really do. Anyways, very excited to read this. This is the 7th book on our TBR. I really kind of want to pick one more. Should I do it? Should I do it? I also have arcs that I kind of, well, I don't need to read them, but I have gotten the arcs for one book, and I do want to read that either like before the end of November or December, but I might just read that on the plane because easy. I'm gonna choose one more. I really want to get Hopeless. I really do, and I don't want to like cheat and just put it on there, but I might just have to. I might just have to, y'all. Let's see what we get here. So my camera died literally in the middle of me showing you that last prompt, and I put it back in the jar. So we're gonna have to pick another one. I don't remember what I was saying. I know I wanted to get Hopeless, but yeah. This one. This one's rereading an old favorite. I'm not gonna do that. Let's see. A book set in a small town. Y'all know I was trying to get Hopeless. Hopeless is in fact set in a small town, so I get to add that to our TBR. So we now have 8 books on our TBR. I will go through and tell you those books. First, I'm going to read you the synopsis of Hopeless because it is a part of us interconnected standalone series, so I can tell you the synopsis of that book. I do not own the book. I read all of them on Kindle Unlimited, so that's how I'm going to read this for you guys. Okay, it says, Bo Eaton is a town prince, a handsome military hero with a tortured past. I'm the outcast bartender, a shy girl from the wrong side of the tracks. He's 35 and all man. I'm 22 and all virgin. He's also my fiance. Correction, my fake fiance. We start out as a bet. He doesn't believe that anyone holds my last name against me, so he offers me his to prove a point. It's win-win. He gets a break from his concerned family's prying, and I get a chance to shed my family's reputation while I save up to ditch this small town. He says all I have to do is wear his ring, follow his lead, and pretend I can't keep my hands off of him in public. But it's what happens between us in private that blurs all those carefully drawn lines. It's what transpires behind closed doors that doesn't feel like pretending at all. This engagement was supposed to be for show. This agreement, it has an end date. He has told me once that he's never fallen in love. He's once told me he'd never fall in love. Yet here I am, head over heels for my fake fiance. Guys, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say that this is their least favorite of the series, so I am a bit nervous because of that. But I'm still interested. The lowest book I rated in this series was a 4-star, and that was, I rated Flawless a 4-star, and I rated Powerless a 4-star. Those are my least favorites out of the series, and yeah, everything else has been a 4.5 or higher. Powerless was a 4.5, Reckless was a 5, so I'm excited to read it and to see my thoughts on this book and to see if I agree with what everyone is saying. So yeah, let me do a little recap for you guys and show you what my December TBR is looking like. So for the books on my TBR, the first prompt that we chose was a book that has your favorite color on the cover, and so I chose The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. So very excited. The next prompt we chose was a book published this year, and for that I chose The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. For a book with a pretty cover, this is a little controversial because I don't know if people will believe me, but I chose All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. Next we had a BIPOC author, so a Black, Indigenous, person of color author, and for that I chose Chain Gang All Stars by Nana Kwame. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna butcher the last name. I feel really bad. We then had the random number generator, and that ended up choosing The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. Brando Sando. We then had an author that you've read and enjoyed before, and for that I chose Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. You wouldn't know because it's backwards and blank. Then the next prompt was uses the character's name in the title, and for that I chose Carrie by Stephen King. So excited to read this book. And then the last one we had was based or takes place in a small town, and for that I chose Heartless. No, I didn't. For that I chose Hopeless by Elsie Silver. So those are the 8 books that are going to be on my December TBR. I'm actually very, very excited for these books, and I think I have some good books this month, some books I'm very excited about, some books I've been wanting to read for a very long time, and some very good vacation reads. So yeah, that is the end of this video. If you guys have read any of these books, please tell me guys how you feel about these books. Did you like them? Did you dislike them? Tell me all the details, but don't spoil. And yeah, if this is your first time seeing me, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you continue to stay for a little bit longer. Other than that, I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.